surprising. It's been that we've had an entire weekend pretty much go by, and now this is our first cast. Yeah, and what an absolute banger! RushieZ versus Fire and Ice.
Toti, it's going to be insane. Ever?
Not ever. It's literally years. It's been
like,
years, guys.
One, like Invitational. I think Invitational Gears 4
bro.
may have been that one. Me and you got the jam on the mic, but man, a long time it has been. It's a pleasure to be with you again, my brother. Across the pond, we are together here to cast the Summer Major. Kicking this one off with Fearzly and Detox in a battle for the M-Bar. And Fearzly will get the first blood in the first advantage for Fire and Ice. But F&I, they just got the first advantage of the game. Let's see how long they can keep a hold of that one.
That's it, right? And they also got the first points, at least, as far as this initial, but it does continue as we get a trade out from Icy and Xplooidz. Dyslexic does respond, though. And I'm wondering, where is that M-Bar control? Where's that going to influence things? Fearzly is the man with that, rotating over. Toti with nades, but he has a 1v of his own. Detox answers back, shuts him down. And it's a little bit scrappy so far on the initial so far, but Fearzly with a great headshot to open things up here.
Beautiful headshot on Ice. He caught him there towards the back end of his roll, but Fearzly did a good job picking up that M-Bar and fighting for spawns for his team. RushieZ, he gets back to a teammate. He gets revived. Avexys is on the flank. RushieZ is still alive here. Icy will fall to another headshot by Fearzly. Can't even come off the respawn and take a breath. But F&I with a quick turnaround, they will clean up the kills needed to get set up for the next heal here at P2. We call it info. They're going to have the spawn as well. Now RushieZ coming off the re. They got about 7 to 10 seconds to work with to get themselves in position to contest for this next team fight.
And look at this raw result, guy. They've got the initial victory. They're 52-second lead right now, and they do have the defense as RushieZ do hurdle through that front entrance from the M-Bar side. F&I are lighting up the kill feed blue, though, with first 2 kills going their way. RushieZ trying to get one back. Not going to happen. But look what Icy has done. He's got that 1 kill going through the middle and gained the short spawn as a result. Well played him.
Yeah, that short spawn is so influential there. As you see RushieZ quickly getting back into the fight before VQ can even think about it. But instinctively, they are still holding RushieZ back a bit, and they're collecting on points, but they get the best in which they can do. Icy, knowing that the little plays can make a big of a difference. And ooh, man, but the big plays look pretty cool if you ask me, all right? Xplooidz with a double kill, but RushieZ will continue to collect off this hill. 40 points left, and I think Fire and Ice just made the decision. We'll let you guys have the rest of that.
And a little bit concerning, actually, in these first moments of Regency control, because, again, Fire and Ice are just in front of them, guy. They've got the M-Bar. They're already rotating for the next hill. Again, they're going to be set up first, and this is kind of what we saw against the United, right? They were just too fast. They were operating on a new plane, a new field, if anything, from United, and they just couldn't keep up. And RushieZ, they need to start performing. They need to speed up a little bit. Dyslexic again with a double. It seems like Fire and Ice just keep getting these two, this double Nasher kills on the kill feed right here, and with that M-Bar, with the nades in hand,
I like
should be able to do something.
I like it. Oh, little extra shimmy to the right. He goes to the left. He may stay alive, but also he did dodge the pathway of that shot. So Dyslexic still takes one to the grave. A flash out. Avexys can't do much, soaking up that Lancer damage. Detox is going to have to get a piece of that as well. Fire and Ice feeling comfortable. Now they get to push through and take over the spawn. Influence the respawns of RushieZ. Force them to the opposite side of the map. And as you guys can see from the mini map, they did exactly just that. Fire and Ice feeling comfortable. 7,000 damage for Xplooidz. 7 kills, 2 deaths, 4 assists at the top of the board. And Fearzly is right behind him as well when it comes down towards the numbers. So far, so good in the Fire and Ice camp there. But we're getting geared up for our next team fight. 40 seconds left in the hill. RushieZ needs to make a quick play now.
Yes, they do. Again, they're attacking the defense of Fire and Ice. 30 seconds left. Xplooidz shuts Avexys down immediately. Icy, Detox, everyone trying to chain revive for their lives, but is not coming through for them just yet. RushieZ will get taken down, and RushieZ are crumbling. Goodness me. F&I are on point in the slaying game. They're rotating early, they're getting the setups, and they're getting the majority of the points on each hill. Not only that, but they're getting the power weapons, guy. And here they are again getting the M-Bar control. Everything is going right now for Fire and Ice.
Man, oh my. right now in the moment, F and I, bro, they are in such a great spot. Like you said, Toby, controlling the power weapons. The rotations are there. Oh no, Dsylexic has a player on screen, but he's going to have to back up as the M-bar support behind him. They will be able to find a kill on RushieZ, trying to flank up the middle. They find Avexys and a quick back A to Detox's chest. It is going to give Fire and Ice control here at Statue. And as we start getting geared up towards Fountain, not to get ahead of ourselves, okay? 60 points on the hill, but we are getting geared up for it because now you're going to start to see Fire and Ice shifting for respawns after winning that team fight. They're counting numbers. The fact that Dsylexic is forcing a 1v2 fight so far away from the hill as RushieZ is trying to get into position shows how impactful he is, because how far away that fight was. He'll get a quick respawn before these guys can get close to him and still have an impact. And he actually got the respawn he wanted. Fountain side of the map. Can Fire and Ice hold? So far so good, but RushieZ, he's upset.
Oh, he is. He is. Very well said, guy. Xplooidz has done well, though. He's still got the M-bar on his back, running into him. He doesn't care, but he will get dropped in the process. That's a huge kill for Icy. He was the last man on the hill, now Fire and Ice. You know, again, guy, they want to be ahead of the game. They've got a huge points cushion. They are rotating from the middle hill all the way to the corner. Detox, the brick wall in the way, though. Look at everyone trying to cut each other off. RushieZ now finally getting some kills. And yeah, you said it, Detox finding two. And now maybe, just maybe, this is RushieZ's opportunity now to get a firm hold of this game and finally be to a hill first.
All right, RushieZ, can you win the next team fight? They win that, I'm pretty sure they can break that 100-point marker and get the confidence back in their favor, get a little bit momentum on their side, because I agree with you, man. This 100-point lead that Fire and Ice racked up, they absolutely beat down RushieZ here over these first 4 rotations of heals. But with the flashes coming out, Detox repositions a full spread, but a down and a quick revive comes through. RushieZ isn't close enough to have an impact, and the Lancers not being able to get it down, not being able to keep Fire and Ice under pressure for the shotguns to come through and get the kills. Ultimately, F&I will press their way back towards the spawn, but since RushieZ had the quick spawns, okay, the one kill in which they got instantly got them to 4v3 before Fearzly can have an impact. And we see he played for M-bar, folks, okay? So RushieZ, if they don't get in and get this heal now, they're losing some crucial points in which they've worked for to earn up until this point, and they are going to get them. They should break that 100-point marker.
No, they are. 30 seconds left in this hill, and again, Fire and Ice, just like the last one, of rotating for the next hill. Again, they've got M-bar control, and their numbers are secure on that side of the map. RushieZ are aware, though. There is one player all the way far over on that corner, number 7. RushieZ getting shut down. Toti narrowly running past a RushieZ player, actually. A 1v2 in front of him. Question is, can he survive? RushieZ actually getting dropped. I am so confused. Xplooidz finding a
long-range M-bar from the side. Xplooidz, he hits the shot. Gave Toti the room to be able to escape from that. The RushieZ spawns will be called out here from Xplooidz. Also, Detox spawning up down low.
Now, where are the numbers Fire and Ice? Look at them. They're all on short spawn, if you can see from the mini-app. Now they're rotating back. RushieZ players right in front of the hill. RushieZ trying to avoid the M-bar, seeing if he can sneak on through. Xplooidz not having any of it. Nades are going to be thrown, not going to be connecting, but that shock will delay on that side of RushieZ. Meanwhile, Detox has the short spawn guy. Perhaps he can get some Lancer damage here. Perhaps he can get a pinch sorted very soon. Maybe. And they have time to work with as the hill is not being currently capped.
Now, with the hill being neutral, RushieZ is in a good position. They've done a great job pressing a way, well, pushing Fire and Ice into a corner, right? They back Fire and Ice into a corner with 2 M-bar shots left. Xplooidz knows it only takes for him to hit 1 shot for his teammates to find an opening and make a play. What a dodge. But with 1 left in the clip in a neutral hill, I think Fire and Ice is like, bro, we're cool. Okay, we got a big lead. You guys still ain't even got 100 points. If you guys want to press, you can press. Yeah, RushieZ is too comfortable, if you ask me, too.
Exactly. They should be stressed right now. Exactly. They should be absolutely stressed. I think at this point in time, they just want to rest. They want to rest their brains for a moment because Fire and Ice have just been so far in front of them. Exactly. Imagine 7,000 IQ right now for Fire and Ice just operating on a different plane. And RushieZ just like, can you give me a break for a moment? Just allow me.
Everybody having a water break in the moment. But now Toti moves around. RushieZ still don't want to make a play. So the thing is about this is that RushieZ can send a player down a Rose Garden and get the setup in which they want. but so much time has went off the clock where Fire and Ice they've had enough. They're upset and they're like, you know what, guys? If you don't want to push, we need to rotate to next. We got to get some power weapons. And if you guys don't want to fight us, we'll fight you. So Fire and Ice, they bully their way out the setup. And now they're rotating down low. They're collecting power weapons and they're looking to win this map.
The beauty of it is, yes, they get power weapons, and they're all together as well. They're all together, and they can just kind of death ball their way through the map as they're able to win on that team fight. Ryze still a little bit split up, but it does seem to be working as they're able to get the angle on Dyslexic across the map. Fire and Ice trying to work their way around with that fresh Ember. Fearzly just coming off the short spawn here next to them. And I wonder if they can find Avexys now. Icy getting the kill on Toti, keeping the numbers at bay, and allowing Ryze to stretch out just a little bit more to keep F&I contained.
Now, F&I, they're trying to break through from the top side of the map, but RushieZ is collecting on his time. F&I, they want to get towards this neutral hill, but they wanted to fight for the spawns first and force RushieZ towards the opposite end, because with them already being past that 200-point marker, they want that perfect setup so they can get at least half the time on this P1, but also have the respawns for P2, which is one of their money hills, a hill in which they feel super comfortable fighting on, because maybe the amount of right-hand advantages in which you can get guarding info. But with RushieZ hitting a beautiful point blank, RushieZ, they will get the majority of Rose Garden. Now, this is going to be RushieZ's biggest rotation of the game. They're going to need to get a kill now, stay alive. Avexys would have cut back in an inside shot, juked out the whole lobby, but Icy, he's looking to make up for it. He's step one, revive RushieZ. Step two, guard RushieZ. Possibly move in and get a kill. But with it being a 3v3, RushieZ needs to move now. You traded out some kills. Take your numbers before they get set up, but Avexys in a 1v1 with Fearzly. They traded, but Fearzly says, yo, I'll win this battle. Possibly get the power weapon. More importantly, get the setup for his squad. The rotation comes in. The M-bar will be picked up momentarily. 5 seconds on the clock, but as you see, RushieZ didn't even contest them.
Oh, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to see for RushieZ. They were so close to stringing kills together and breaking down that wall, and now they're trying to fight back against the Ember. It's like deja vu. Fearzly is still going in. Look at the damage he's putting in. It's still alive somehow. 3 players of RushieZ it took to finally take him down, all while his teammates are racking up points.
Now RushieZ is running to the hill, down by 100. They need to play perfect. RushieZ loses the fight for nades. Toti looking to take one to the grave. He won't be allowed to. Now RushieZ, can you find your footing? You have to dodge 2 nades, but Icy has 5 M-bar shots to work with. First nade goes through. The second nade for the cutoff. A beautiful round ring around a rosy rotation from Avexys, but now Icy has to hit 1. Can he find 2? No need to, because RushieZ will clean up the kill. But Icy say, Blaze, I hear you. I can find 2, no problem. But now RushieZ, they need to work for more, Toby. They need to get here to gold, and RushieZ will be set up. Oh, what a back A in a kill. RushieZ, they're looking good in the late game.
Yeah, the shots are definitely there now, right, guys? A stark difference from what we saw in the first half. And for Icy to get some kills, to get the Ember finally in his hands for RushieZ, really good showing so far, but it does need to translate into points. And they have caught up somewhat with this huge lead that Fire and Ice have dealt with. And look how close Fire and Ice are to them. Off the short spawn, 4 players throwing their way.
Oh,
but
my.
Icy says no. He gets the shot with the Ember. Fantastic stuff. But look how fast Fire and Ice are moving. It's insane. They're still closing the gap. RushieZ trying to stay alive. Detox trying to do what he can. And it's a 2v2 now.
Oh my god,
1v1, my goodness.
RushieZ, he wins the fight. But the thing was, oh no, I spoke too soon. It was 1 player left, and that was Xplooidz, and he caught us off guard. Fire and Ice wins the fight, and they shall be set up. But Detox got a shot under RushieZ's armpit, and RushieZ instinctively got the meat shield right away, and that's what I thought was super cool there in that battle. Even Icy tucked in the back corner with his revive and his shots. What a crazy battle, but it's back on. Xplooidz gets it down. Fire and Ice looking comfortable, but the revive is there. 4 players from Fire and Ice, they're able to save their teammate, and now RushieZ. They need Avexys to go huge with 3, with 2. But the final 2 members of Fire and Ice will collect on a hill in which they win if they collect everything. Every single second. Well, they need less. They got 10 to work with. But now Detox.
Yeah.
Can he get in? The flash is out, Toby. He's moving through.
This is a full commit again. It's round 3, guy. It's all on this hill. Can they delay enough points? Do they even need to? RushieZ, their shots are on point. They're hitting absolutely everything right now. Xplooidz lurking behind the pillar. Fearzly will be dropped. Detox is pushing up on his side. Toti trying to save the day, but it will not happen for Fire and Ice. But are they out of the woods yet? 11 points needed for Fire and Ice.
Surely
and a
not.
huge score lead. It is absolutely insane. Power weapons now under control for RushieZ.
I promise you guys, Little John is not casting, but I will tell you one thing. RushieZ, over these last few team fights, for them to be able to hold back Fire and Ice from winning. Yeah, Fire and Ice, they just need a few more points, but the intensity in which RushieZ just play with is giving me hope. And you know, when I got the tingle, when I got the foresight, I'm foreseeing a comeback from RushieZ, but we'll see if I'm feeling it correctly. The first in-bar shot is missed, but the nades are there. They are able to clean up on one, but that's a big kill from Dsylexic. A few more points needed. The shot grenade is there for the block off. 5 points acquired for Fire and Ice, but 6 needed for the win. Dsylexic is quickly taken out, and ultimately, RushieZ will be set up for 36 more points, but they have to play perfectly, Toby.
They have to rotate early. They can't just send one player to the next hill. They need to send way more than that, in fact, while holding on to the entirety of this hill up until that 6-second mark that relates to that last hill. My goodness me. I'm not sure if it's possible. With how good Fire and Ice have been playing with this early rotation, they will literally have to be perfect. And with all the variables they have to deal with, it seems so unlikely that this can come through.
Man, you just see the damage in which F&I put out there. They're like, yo, you're not coming this way. I love the smoke from Dsylexic, knowing that hill change is going to come through. Detox goes down. Dsylexic backs up. RushieZ finds a kill. The in-bar shot connects. 4 points needed. The side roll revive. RushieZ has numbers. 3v2 in the hill. Can they find another kill? They will. Can they get another? Fearzly trying to duck and dodge and rotate out, but the pistols go through. He will survive. He's going to give Fire and Ice the quickest 3v3 fight they can have, especially with the close respawns. F&I, they're not too upset about this. This in-bar shot is probably the most important one of Icy's tournament. Oh, you saw the quick switch, right, to Fearzly? He's thinking like that. Oh,
abuse it, Icy. Keep charging it. Keep the pressure.
Ooh, he missed. He comes back. The team is there. The team kill from Fire and Ice. The shot grenade is on a hill. Icy smells blood as he moves up, looking for the wide angle. The right hand is there, but Fire and Ice too composed, too close up. But can they get the kills? The Lancer fire comes through. Fearzly finds one. I take it back. It's Dsylexic. He goes down. RushieZ can win off of this. Chat, I'm in full form. I call it the comeback. RushieZ is here, but can they complete it? Here comes F&I.
If they can defend another short swan, that is it. That is it for RushieZ, and boy, have they earned it. Here we go. Utility thrown into the mix, and it all comes down to this.
Oh, no! RushieZ is tweaking. Multiple downs. They're looking for the kills. What a wrap shot. What a 1v1. Oh, my God! Dsylexic wins the match! Fire and Ice comes through in a final 1v1 in the most close control map we have ever witnessed here in Gears Esports. What a way to kick off our semifinals in this series. What the hell?
Are you kidding me? What have we just witnessed in the end?
24, 22. Almost everybody had to drop 20K to win that game. So heartbreaking for RushieZ, but damn, what a good match.
Oh, what a good match. That might be the best control map I've ever casted over. That was absolutely insane to witness.
Oh, man. Happy to be back with you, Toby.
Yeah, likewise,
happy to be back with you.
What a great start.
Yeah, what a great start to us casting the weekend, man. But all right. I just wish I had Colin here on the side of me. Only because, not for a casting duo, but just because I just want him to pour out all the intel of every single team fight, okay, of what went wrong. But hey, we can do it ourselves. As we look at the replays, we think about the early lead. Well, RushieZ had to fight to come back to get back in this one, okay? So many stalemates, methodical pushes, big team fights, clutches, the whole nine. Like, we all got it here. And there's not really one thing that either team did wrong. I gotta be honest with you, okay? You know, they may have had some low moments, and one squad may have had the momentum most of the game, but at the end of it all, they adjusted. They fought back. They made the necessary rotations, and it all came down to one single shot.
It did. It was a one-hill game for what seemed like an eternity there, wasn't it? Even on that center hill, it was essentially a one-hill game for a long time, given the points left. Look at that Icy getting some headshots on the board. And it seemed like he had the ember for the entire second half of the map. He kept on holding on to it for so long, guy, and it applied so much pressure, F&I. I'm surprised they still moved at the pace that they did. They still threw the numbers so quickly at them, and it was just an absolute pleasure to watch them play in such a way. And I'll tell you what, guys, I said this yesterday, I'll say it again. RushieZ, boy, do they have heart. They have such passion inside them. They have the amount of adversity they've faced in this major alone so far has just been astronomical. And they've responded. They've come to the challenge, and boy, have they superseded expectations. Such a shame, of course, that they didn't end up winning in the end. But look how close it was, even in the replay. That 3v1 bearing down, and it all came down to essentially to 1v at the end. Absolute chaos on these hills.
It is so wild because the stream and the replay is at the same exact time on the stream. Yo, we all just ended at the same. We ended at the same time twice, and I got a chance to experience it with the chat because one of the craziest games we've ever saw on broadcast. And at the end of it all, just for it to end the way that it did, and for him to be the MVP Xplooidz, oh my God, 21 kills, 13 deaths, 12 assists, 13 objective kills. He was in the hill. He had 15 caps. He was where he needed to be. Big pig. And the real tournament starts today. But he also said that all of our opponents will reap what they sow. He mainly talked about VQ. And in the way that he said it, it just needs to be like an ASMR clip that plays over and over and over, because I'll pay good money for that one, all right? He got me hyped just saying that one sentence in the tone in which he did. But the tone of this round number one is also gonna be RushieZ-like, as they have the 3v1 advantage, but they're going up against Toti with a sniper in hand, and they're gonna give him all the respect in the world, and rightfully so. It takes Toti to get one headshot, but also RushieZ doesn't know where he's looking, where he's peeking. Icy just got a good amount of intel. He calls it out. The entire team moves up, and now the damage is dealt. The round is won. RushieZ on the board first.
Beautiful from RushieZ. It's exactly what we wanted, right? As soon as I finished talking, it seemed like they were just already on Nest picking up incense. Well played to Icy, leading the way. And actually, RushieZ was the man with 2 kills in the end. But yeah, Icy definitely on the front line there, picking up the incense. That's kind of the energy you need, right? You actually absolutely have to start off fast and strong and kind of beat Fire and Ice at their own game. You know, give yourself some wiggle room on the strats, because Fire and Ice have plenty when it comes to this map. Even checking out the minimap right now, guys, it's a 4v4 over on checkout side.
Yeah, it is going to be a 4v4 here on the checkout side. The smokes block the platform, but the first blood in favor of Dsylexic. He already got the call out on Detox, and Detox goes out. RushieZ finds a kill. They're looking for the down. 2v2 quickly. Quick revive. It's still anyone's game, and now RushieZ with an advantage, but the quick 180. Dsylexic. No, RushieZ is alive. 1v1.
Will Dsylexic go for the snipe? That's the age-old question, the 1v, but I'm not sure if RushieZ would allow that. Dsylexic might bait it here and there. I know you would, guy. I know you'd love that snipe, especially in this situation. Dsylexic trying to sneak through if he can get a back A. I would not be surprised if we see one of these players absolutely fly at the other right now. It's early doors on this map, on this game. Dsylexic baiting it again. The Lancer flipping out.
I will go
the tension between these two.
As soon as RushieZ pulls out his shotgun, I'll fake it. As soon as he pulls out his Lancer, he switches back, you pick it up. Okay, that's the timing what you need. It's just an extra second. But, you know, I'm just thinking nerdy here. They both playing it perfectly, all right? They are playing it the way that they need to. You don't want to risk it, Toby. You don't want to put your squad in that position. And the hill is behind Dsylexic. It'll be a race.
We're about to go for a run.
RushieZ got outplayed. No way.
He has, and only now. Dsylexic turn around. He's not going to get down the process. RushieZ has bought himself time, though. Full red. Dsylexic had to stop.
No way.
RushieZ has to get on through. He has to get past this wall.
No. How many bullets he got?
Oh my God, he's full red.
Quick hop. RushieZ, he has to run in. Oh, the counter is there. Oh, Dsylexic with a cutback. He wins the round. What a 1v1 here in map number 2. Fire and Ice gets it all tied up. Man, RushieZ played it great. So even though Dsylexic completely outplayed him on a rotation, so yeah, the RushieZ revive came through. Dsylexic cuts back. He missed his wrap shot right there, right? But this is where RushieZ, he played it super well. Stopped Dsylexic from running there because Dsylexic definitely had the timing. RushieZ just had the foresight to have the right weapon out in that moment. Ultimately, he gets in for the contest, but Dsylexic positioning won him the round. And now we are in round number 3. Nades are out over the top, and RushieZ gets 2.
That's all she wrote for this round. Surely RushieZ has answered back for any mistakes made against Dsylexic in that last 1v. What a response that was. 21 seconds. Instantly throwing that frag grenade off pickup and getting the double. Well played, RushieZ. And that's the strat change, right? That's the flexibility you want to see from them. They only just played a 4v4 over at the checkout, and they were like, you know what? A 1v1 at the end is not good enough for us. And they outstratted F&I with a fantastic frag grenade pickup. Well played, RushieZ.
Man, RushieZ wasting no time. Maybe he heard me talking about these 1v1 players need to have an impact if they're going to play that side of the map, but he knew that already. Nice double. Icy, he's going to get some nades of his own, trying to match his teammates' energy. The push from Fire Nice was a beautiful commitment. They got a double kill for RushieZ. Oh my God, 2v1. It's up to Icy. He's between two. He quickly goes down, and Fire Nice will take the round.
What was that headshot? He's only just picked up the snipe and just instantly essentially pop-shotted the first player he can see. Wow.
He had his eyes on his head the whole time.
Hey, if he missed that shot, that could have been a completely different round. Look at that. He was in a 2v1, his teammate there. And Toti got the most crucial headshot possible.
His teammate was getting pressed. Toti comes big for the Fire and Ice fans, but let's see if he can do it again and get them the lead here. Map number 2. Smokes are out. Flashes are deep. Detox moves in. He's going to go towards the secondary. Shot connects, but the kill is traded. Icy moves up. He takes a big shot. The incendiaries are too much, and now it's a 3v2. But Fire and Ice caught out in the open. RushieZ with some beautiful answer shots. Can Avexys make the play? The wrap shot comes in. No! But RushieZ with a 1v2. As he moves around, both players from Fire and Ice get their health back, but RushieZ knows this ain't gonna be easy. He can't get it done. F&I, they take the lead.
Another beautiful round. Back and forth we go, guy, between these players. It's literally a trading of numbers constantly. As soon as one team takes an advantage, the other is just pushing the other side to checkout. They're pushing through Nest. They're pushing through Snipe. And it's so difficult to respond in time, but they do it somehow. They do it each time. So many players are going off, whether it's Icy with the incense, whether it's Toti with the Snipe, and whether it's RushieZ with the nades. Keep an eye on that mini-map. Again, we're going back to the full 4v4. Xplooidz jumping onto incense. Oh my God. RushieZ, Icy just about getting the incense and then killing Xplooidz in the process. Here we go. 3 incense, and they pulled out of checkout.
Whoever threw the flash is Icy's hero. He saw his life flash before his eyes there in the moment. But now with a man advantage, RushieZ is looking to pinch. The flank is coming through. Icy will be there. Fire Nice pressing forward, angled out. Avexys with some solid shots and keeping his distance. RushieZ gets us all tied up 3-3. Awesome stuff there from RushieZ, and you said it best. It was just utility. That whole round came down to utility usage, and RushieZ just had it on point. That stun was perfect. There was a chain revive there, if at all necessary. If the lances did come from Snipe, everything was unlocked from RushieZ. And so far, that's been the story for me, actually. It seems like Fire and Ice are edging them sometimes in the shotgun fights, but RushieZ have sneaked at least 2 rounds, probably 3, honestly, just based on initial strats alone, based on setup, right? Based on hard work and planning. And here we go again. It's going to be a 4v4. 3 players of Fire and Ice are in the middle checkout at the very start, and they're flying over to the other side. Icy turnaround. Here comes a flank from Fearzly out of nowhere. 3v2, 3v1, and now Fearzly, the last man, he will get dropped, and RushieZ do hold on. Yo, RushieZ winning 2 rounds in a row, responding to Fire and Ice. That flank that came through from Fearzly, I thought he was about to come through and take over. It came so quickly, but in the end, RushieZ, they expected it. They were ready. Avexys leading the top of the kill feed here for his team. You know, all weekend long, he's been playing fantastic. 8,000 damage, a +3 on the KD, probably a 4.0 on the KDA if you want to do the quick maths on it. Actually, it's a 5.0, but that's neither here nor there as Detox is looking to move up. The nades from RushieZ, 2 free throws. He can't connect, but funnels fire and ice inside the inner secondary on RushieZ's side of the map. They're trapped, they're panicking, but how composed can RushieZ stay? With a kill from Detox, they're looking like this round may go their way, and a lantern from RushieZ, a double, triple down. Talk about a play around from RushieZ, and in this map, he has risen, and he has made his presence known in that 1v1 position.
Literally like the descendant of Team Envious right there. That was insane from RushieZ. Outstratting with initial. And you said it best, they have them trapped. Look at this for width gain from RushieZ. The angle blind fire of the Lancer. Gears 3 checkout style from RushieZ there. Absolutely on point from RushieZ. How impressive is this? One round away now from taking map 2.
The best 1v1 players and support players are the ones who used to be main slayers, right? Because they got the easiest job to learn because you know they can frag. 3v3 here in round number 9. Xplooidz holding his position. A back A comes through. And Fire Nice with a quick response from the previous. Avexys misses a shot. He wins the round. RushieZ will take the map. Icy, he's going to watch from up top, but he's going to tap up and join the party. I'm sure of it. As Avexys says, bro, you see this? You see he tried it? He tried to get you? I got you. RushieZ, they got the series all tied up 1-1. And what a series it has been, folks. It's been a nail-biter, back and forth battle between both these squads, and it's just getting started. I need a breather as well. RushieZ going MVP from the 1v1 position. Folks, when we come back, we're heading on over towards Vasgar, Escalation, to see who can take a lead in this series. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gears Summer Major. And once again, throughout the weekend, we have had exciting series back to back to back to back. And I'm pretty sure pretty much every series you saw on broadcast has been 1-1 at some point. But this one has not disappointed so far. It's been RushieZ versus Fire and Ice, a battle in which we have seen time and time again. But here in our last event of the year, both these squads are playing with a different energy. As I like to say, they wanted just a bit more than they did in the Pro League. They know how important this event has been. And we have seen 2 of the craziest maps so far throughout this tournament for RushieZ. They got it all tied up 1-1. And Toby, we got to head on over towards Vasgar Escalation.
That we do, and hey, checkout was definitely RushieZ's underdog map, right? It was really in favor of FNI, especially after that nail-biting win off map 1, but boy, did RushieZ get vengeance after that close map number 1. They played it so well, guy, honestly. Just look at this replay right here. The crosses from RushieZ. I mentioned Envious, right? It does remind me of rounds like that, of kind of that IGLing from old teammate Fran, right? The passive, more Lancer-based strategies in order to topple teams which are much more reliant on aggression, and it worked out amazingly for them. On a map like Checkout, where you have to go toe-to-toe with your opponent, right?
Yep.
But RushieZ found those strategies. They found those power weapon plays that they needed to get the number of rounds that they did against FNI. Literally, over half their rounds, guy, were not because of slaying, but because of initial strategies. That's what it came down to, and that's definitely what RushieZ need to lean on going into Vasgar.
They definitely do, man, because they got a strong front squad, okay? A strong team that's there on the initials. When you think about Detox's slaying power, Icy's consistency, and Avexys, his, what do I want to say about Avexys? Because Avexys does it all. But regardless, that is your 3-man core when it comes down towards a team fight. And they play it really well. They get out a lot of damage. Detox makes some big plays. And also, Avexys and Icy's are always in the right position for their squad. Now, we'll see as we head on over towards this Vasgar how they want to get this one done. We know RushieZ going to be playing those 1v1 spots. And honestly, he's probably had one of the biggest impacts in this series so far, forcing everyone to play his game. Sometimes even forces his teammates to play his game as well, just because the plays in which RushieZ makes is like, oh my God, you know what? Switch it up. He got the angle. We can get the play in which we want, play off of him, or get into the hill, to the objective, whatever it may be. RushieZ is doing a lot for RushieZ, but we're tied up 1-1. We're heading on over to Vasgar. And now let's talk about Fire and Ice, okay? Because F&I, they hit they won map number 1. It was super close. But when it comes down to Fire and Ice, Toby, which players are you expecting to step up here on this Vasgar map to get them this 2-1 lead here in the series?
Oh my god, it's got to be a team effort for me, honestly, guys, because right now, Fire and Ice have been performing so well, both as individuals, but also as a team. Clearly on checkout, RushieZ was the better team, quote unquote, right? Yes, Fire and Ice were working as fast as usual, just going head to head as fast as they can, and their slaying game was there. But for me, we go back to RushieZ, right? Him on the 1v street, actually, with Vasgar, yes, they was so impressive. He was clutching up like you wouldn't believe, and clearly RushieZ is playing well today. Right, I think Fire and Ice are going to need to get some teamwork on point here on Vasgar. They do have the advantage going into it. I will say again, just like they did on checkout, they 5-2'd United earlier, right? They're 5-2 in Pro League on Vasgar. They 5-0'd RushieZ on their last visit on Vasgar, actually in Pro League, right?
You're right.
And they 5-0'd PK on this map yesterday as well. This is all going well for Fire and Ice, isn't it, on Vasgar? But there is a spanner in the works potentially for them. What did RushieZ do yesterday? They 5-4'd VQ on this map. That is a surprise for everyone, I think. It's safe to say, especially on Vasgar, right? Regardless. And so for them to do that, for RushieZ to do what we just saw on checkout on an underdog map just like Vasgar, hey, anything is on the table at this point, guy. And I'm excited to see how it plays out.
And winning map 2 was super important. And even to tell you guys how influential that Vasgar win was before, Vanquish being one of our best respawn teams out there. And as you guys heard from the coach himself, Affinity, Escalation is the worst game mode. And if they cannot take a control, if they cannot take an execution, by the time they get to the Escalation, sometimes it can feel defeating. But when it comes down to a major, the team comes together like it never has before. No matter who you're a fan of, you can tell by the score lines, by the action in which you guys have been watching all weekend long, that these guys have came to play. And RushieZ, even though Escalation isn't their best game mode as a squad, it doesn't matter. They just want to win their fights. They just want to play together. They just want to talk it through and talk their way back to the grand finals to do something that they have never done before. But Fire and Ice, they want to do the same thing. They want the chip. Okay, they want to do it for Latin America. They got a region on their shoulders. And as we're kicking off this first round, Ryan says, hey, we don't care what you got on your shoulders. You better worry about us.
RushieZ is doing it again, guy. He's won his 1v on the street. Can he do it a second time against the same player? Yes, he can, and he holds on to the heal. As a result, the amount of pressure he's relieving right now of his team just because of him on this side of the map is absolutely insane, guy. And still, he has no reinforcement. Still, he's just gonna, you know what? Call it. I'm gonna come away with my 2-0, if you will, in the 1v situation with Dsylexic and just stay alive. Meanwhile, RushieZ, they get another go at the hill, right? They've still winning on points, so because of RushieZ efforts.
Man, you know, RushieZ, ever since he had joined that Reciprocity roster and he got a chance to team with Kenny, Franchise, and Icy, so much, like, he evolved into a different style of player, and he has been slowly building up his gameplay, building up on that play style time and time again. But when it comes down to even his position on his map, he's going up against Dsylexic, someone who has had somewhat of a similar story since joining Fire and Ice. You know, we saw him come up in the Challenger Series. We saw him turn heads. We saw him make Reflections a fan, and us all a fan in the process as well. And Dsylexic has proved to be one of the most best individual one of the best individual players in our league. And him going up against RushieZ is the battle we got to pay attention to on this map. But in this round, it is Fire and Ice looking to get this lead change. RushieZ, they're going to have to make a play on A soon, and here it comes.
Here it does come indeed. That 1v1 situation, the home hill has changed to a 2v2. Icy is there, the veteran, to help out the man. RushieZ, who is going wide once more with his Lancer as he did on checkout, doesn't get the down on Fearzly to open up the play, but they do get the break on the hill. And Guy, look at the top left of your screen, as I'm sure you already have seen. The score is so close between these two teams.
And Fire and Ice needs to get the break before the lead change. RushieZ, they knew it, but they couldn't get the damage out in time to win the 2v2 fight that they needed. And the change comes through. Enough. But as you see, multiple heals being contested for, RushieZ knows that that was a 2v2 fight they had to win to get round number 1. But a close round number 1, in which it was. Fire and Ice, You're gonna kind of stay perfect here on Vasgar. They strike first.
Yeah, that's a really tough round actually for RushieZ, or at least RushieZ, because it was somewhat the RushieZ show, right? The reason they stuck with F&I with the point situation for so long is because RushieZ was doing so much in the home street. He had so much time on the enemy's home hill. If we actually look at the B hill, it was the Fire and Ice show, right? RushieZ were constantly trying to go at them, trying to get control of that hill, but they never really got a good footing. And all it took was one teammate for F&I to just change it up completely, have that 2v2 on home street, and see what actually transpired in the end. So yeah, unfortunately for RushieZ, the team on his back right there wasn't performing at the same level, but hey, perhaps they can turn this around. It's early days and nothing is changing really with the weapon placements.
Yeah, nothing right now. Okay, also we know too as well, Fire and Ice, if you put a center line power weapon on them, they will respond with another of their own. We saw that strategy against E United early, and it worked so well for Fire and Ice, not letting these squads get the team fights in which they want and create these positional advantages on the map based off where they put those center line power weapons at. RushieZ wins another 1v1. Couldn't clean up the kill just yet. He knew he had another fight to take. The meat shield soaks up the flash, but RushieZ will get help from a teammate. Avexys is already to the home hill. He says, don't worry, brother, I got you. 2 hills for RushieZ's name, and I think RushieZ is going to fortify CNA.
Avexys trying to get out as the players do come off respawn. RushieZ with the revive. He'll try and get away. Oh, even more players. In fact, double headshot. Avexys and Detox get the kills. Meanwhile, the B hill is the next target for RushieZ. They start to overextend across the middle. Detox trying to get in with the flank. He has to be careful. Dsylexic and Toti are coming right behind, but I wonder if they can be fast enough before they get pinched.
They have to commit. RushieZ knows that. But did they have enough time? Some better position. Misrolling it down for Detox. Couldn't get the cover in which he wanted, but RushieZ cuts back for the kill cleanup. That was actually massive. A flash to stun Dyslexic. He gets it. 2 good shots. A down in the meat shield. RushieZ finding 2. Will stop the bleeding and give RushieZ a 2v1 at the B hill. They just got another 2v1 as well. But Toti. Okay. Toti gets taken out. I thought he was about that life, but he showed that he just couldn't win the fight. Ultimately, RushieZ, they keep 2 hills to their name, and they got the setup in which they want. RushieZ has another 1v1. Actually, Avexys has a 1v1 against Fearzly to protect A.
He should wait here. He should wait here. He needs to wait for his teammates to come off respawn. He does keep his distance. He does close the cap raid. It leaves a 1v2 now for Xplooidz to try and scamper his way out of. It's going to be so difficult because look at RushieZ. They're keeping it so far apart, their distance from each other. From Xplooidz.
These RushieZ players, they just figured out that they have to be proactive. Almost gave up a kill there because of the missed shot from Detox, but in the end, they will get the kill. Now they need to work back to get there. Actually, they're good with the 3 hills in which they have. Fire and Ice knows the player's coming off a respawn. They have to deal with him, but they didn't press up to that respawn maybe close enough in which they needed to get to this B hill in time. 15 seconds.
They're trapped on the street right now. They're trapped in the street. I'm concerned. RushieZ has a 1v on the B hill. The A hill's not looking too good. Can he get through in time? The pinch is even coming in. Xplooidz is there all of a sudden. Everyone's collapsing on this B hill. There's a full hold, and it does come through. RushieZ do hold on. Detox with a double kill and an icy kill of his own. But Blaze, my oh my. RushieZ making me nervous on the end there as we saw that street line up with the X-ray vision. F&I were really closing in on them.
Bro, our games all day, all week have been so close, okay? And I'm here for it. Chat, I know you're here for it as well. I am so entertained, and that round was a close one as well. I love RushieZ's setup. You know, they had a 1v1 at the B hill for a second, but that was smart. That was the reason why it was smart, is because they didn't allow themselves to get back up and get pinched on the tank. They made Fire and Ice think. But I also think that F&I, they wasted too much time. They knew the play that needs to be made, but the timing just wasn't well on how quickly they had to push up. Ultimately, we are here in round number 3. And the 1v1 battle that we've been watching over here on this side of the map has been so fun between Dyslexic and RushieZ. Dyslexic baits out the flash, but RushieZ says, I don't fake. Pros don't fake. As he moves in for the 1v1. Ooh, with the holding of the shot. Dyslexic, what is that wiggle, brother? Hit the L trigger.
That was literally the word I was thinking of, wiggle. And we'll look at Avexys right now. He's trying to do the same thing, pinballing, if you will, between the tank and a cover. But again, RushieZ will hold on and he'll get the capture, and quickly, disciplined in his nature, he will pull all the way back now to play it safe. Look, even Xplooidz is coming to the home as well. They aren't messing around now with RushieZ.
Man.
He is on form. You might as well rename this Rushie Streak for the first half, honestly. The amount of times I've casted over him now where he's just been absolutely insane on this 1v position is immense. It reminds me of, say, GB singles guy, where you just have one player who's just insane at one map, but he just doesn't lose it. It's kind of like a write-off in playoffs for that player. It's that insane right now. It is so impressive to watch.
So far, RushieZ has a slight lead, but they need to find a fight soon. And all I can think about is they're going to have to make a play through Rush Avenue towards the A hill. It's going to be Icy and RushieZ working together. You're back-to-back champions to kick off Gears of War 5. The duel themselves always find a way to make their way back in positions just like this. As Rush and Ice move forward, they identify Xplooidz as the first target, but RushieZ, Icy, they both go down. Valiant effort from them. But now in this position, Fire and Ice will continue to hold two hills. Fearzly playing a little bit more defensively, expecting that the play will come from this side of the map. And Dsylexic is there for the flank. And that's probably why Fearzly felt so calm in the moment. He knew B Hill was going to get locked in. But RushieZ, once again, RushieZ and Icy, if they want to keep their team alive, they got to make a play down Rush Avenue.
That's it. Icy and RushieZ regroup on this street to see if they can conquer on this side, but the score lead is huge. 20 seconds to go for Fire and Ice, but they can hold on to two. RushieZ and Icy, they need to make the decision. They have to go sooner rather than later, as the situation isn't going to improve anytime soon for them. Utility is thrown. No stuns come in. The Lancers are on point. Icy flies through. He gets the kill, but they need more breaks. C Hill's being broken as well, and it looks like it's all but over for this round for RushieZ. Oh my god. Fearzly is going to get a retro charge as well.
Somebody, Colin, get the PayPal. I think you already have it, though, because Fearzly, that ain't the first time he's done that one, but we get $5 to PayPal for any retro charges we see on stream. All right, folks? It is a rarity. Now, as we head here into round number 3, hard fought round from Fire and Ice, they had great control towards the B hill, but even better protection at their home hill. RushieZ may be winning the 1v1s, but ultimately, if the team fight is not won by RushieZ, Fire and Ice, as soon as they feel comfortable, you can kind of see how they set the pace throughout the round and not give up any more positioning.
Now that was the round, that was the weapon placement screen that United actually put the sniper down on tank, so RushieZ aren't actually opting for that just yet. And you know, honestly, I think you should be considering weapon placements right now, because you're not going to have RushieZ on this 1v1 streak forever, right? This is the last round that we'll see that, and so RushieZ need to start thinking ahead, I think, of this second half, and whether they'll be on the best side for the weapon placement strategy, perhaps either at the tank or the helicopter, depending on what they opt for. But let's see. Let's get through this round first, shall we?
Honestly, I would go center line and force F and I to put something down center line as well if I am on the side of RushieZ, because the way that RushieZ is hitting shots, as we just saw, he can fight a 1v1 for a pair of nades, for a torque bow, for a sniper. Whatever he wants, he can fight for it. Avexys working smarter, not harder, goes for his opponent's home hill. He's going to get the decap, possible capture, had to retreat last second. Saw a player approaching with a Lancer out, as they should, coming off the respawn. Dsylexic takes a lot of damage, but Avexys doesn't feel comfortable until Icy can get there to be able to help him and RushieZ out in the moment. As they are fighting a 3v3 battle on this side of the map, Detox is going to take cover and fill in the mid lane. They're okay to take a quick break and talk about the strategy, because the score isn't too crazy. They just down by 20, but here comes RushieZ.
Look at this for a 3v3. Fearzly and Dsylexic get the down. The chain revives. Can they keep up? I don't think they can. No. Fire and Ice completely down. Avexys some is still up. They do stand up. Still fighting their way, but RushieZ will eventually fall. Meanwhile, Detox saving the day elsewhere on the A-Hill. The numbers advantage does go to F&I for now. And a little bit of a score lead as well. RushieZ will have to reset, recuperate, and reformation into this B-Hill fight, essentially. Because that helicopter fight wasn't the best for them, and I doubt they'll go for it again anytime soon.
Yeah, Toti and Dsylexic, they played that team fight well on C, kept their distance, didn't get in that one-shot range. Now, as Fire and Ice has two hills towards their name, B hill is the next focus for RushieZ, unless RushieZ wins a big 1v1 against Toti and they can get the C hill. That'll alleviate the pressure, but RushieZ finds a way to get it done here. In the team fight, a bad side roll. Icy gets a kill. 2v2. The revive is not coming through. Xplooidz finishes them off. And now RushieZ does have to press against Toti as he was playing from a defensive position. He knew that he was going to be okay. He knew his squad had the team fight one at B. And Fire and Ice will try to win off of 2 heals here, holding B and C. This is the last team fight for RushieZ in a round.
That it is. Look at Toti. Look at this. Shout out to the observer, by the way, catching this secret man from just behind Toti, looking for he gets the gib. He does get down in the process, though. Meanwhile, Dsylexic will actually fall. Look at all these downs scattered across the map. Who will emerge to try and get the points? Xplooidz will get the A-hole with his teammate. Surely it's all over now for RushieZ, given this huge score lead that Fire and Ice have built up at the end of this half. Icy flying off.
Hold up.
The spawn, Fearzly says no, shuts him down. C hill changing as well, and the B hill captured for RushieZ. Have they bought enough time? Can they get more kills? Xplooidz,
no way.
Thinks not RushieZ with the double. My goodness me.
Yo, it's time to get there. It's a 3v2 fight for the win.
They can't reach. They can't reach.
Oh, they couldn't get it in time. But what an effort there coming from RushieZ. They knew this was going to be tough against Fire and Ice. I don't think that round demoralized them whatsoever, any of these 3, because as they know, they've been struggling on this game mode for a while, but they see how they're contesting against Fire and Ice. But also more importantly, Toby, you called it out earlier. They went to a round 9 against VQ, right? In this tournament. And that does something for your squad. It lets you know, it gives you that confidence that you can make the play in the moment, that you have that comeback potential. So RushieZ, they're feeling in a moment that they're getting closer and closer to winning some of these rounds. But can they get it done is the question. We're about to find out soon, because Fire and Ice, man, if you're a fan, they have been dominating so far throughout this escalation map. They're looking to go up 4-1. And any time this map is in a cycle, you can almost give them an insta-win here the way that they've been playing. But RushieZ, he says he ain't playing no more. He takes a big shot. He retreats, repositions. Toti with a maze shield. RushieZ can't do much about it. Fire and Ice should be able to get whatever weapon that is right behind him, and that's going to be the sniper.
Yeah. It went down. It was actually RushieZ that play stand, not on the greater side for them either. And honestly, Fire and Ice have just swept through them on this initial on the tank. Detox and Icy flying off spawn in a desperate attempt to save this round. And 4-1 looks a lot more dangerous than a 3-2, that's for sure. Xplooidz going off with a sniper. And you asked me the question earlier, right? What kind of player are we looking for? Or what player from Fire and Ice is going to go off or could go off and make a huge difference to this team? Well, Xplooidz was insane with a sniper earlier against E United, constantly getting it and just providing so much pressure, you know, leveraging it for an entire round, it seemed like. Meanwhile, Powers with the M-bar just wasn't doing as much, and that's a key to victory right now if Fearzly can get that sniper and do the work.
12, 4, and 15. Okay, that is going to be quick maths, a 6.0 KD, maybe a 7.0, don't quote me. But my God, talk about throughout 4 or 5 rounds from Toti. 6.75 for the correct math, okay? I was close enough. Y'all know me. But that's great. Here, round number 6. Detox, he's gonna take refuge back here towards the back of the tank, but he's gonna have to go on aggressive soon. Duck it and dodge in multiple flashes. Fire and Ice with the pinch and the double kill. They win the 3v2 battle, but across map, it is going to be RushieZ, who he gets a free capture at E, and he's going to just stay here momentarily and just wait for his next target. But ultimately, Fire and Ice, they're going to be in the lead.
They're looking good. They look good. This is what I was talking about last round, right? They've got the 2 cap, and Xplooidz has the sniper, and he's just going to abuse this with an inch of its life, with an inch of its utility. He's going to aim right across the map and aim into the spawn, essentially, and see if he can get body checks or headshots. Usually the latter. Not able to fire the shot off just yet. His teammates are going to work already. Not able to connect. Meanwhile, he actually has to turn around. Here comes RushieZ on the home street trying to get that 1v that he's kept on getting in the first half, but not able to there. Toti has his number, and a little bit of help is all he needed. Meanwhile, RushieZ do get the home hill back, and they do hold on Xplooidz, let's see what he can do with the snipe.
Yeah, they're good. Right now, it's the quiet before the storm. RushieZ, they're going to be able to slow this one down a bit. And I think they needed that. And with that L trigger on Xplooidz, RushieZ just that quickly went on to the offensive. But based off their positioning, they need to acquire a little bit more map control. RushieZ is going to bait Dsylexic in just a bit for him to get his health back. But he calls in help, and it wasn't actually RushieZ there. It was Avexys who was getting pressed. RushieZ is going to come back, try to say, hey, man, don't worry about it. I'm going to take over my spot again, but let's get this heal first, as he's going to take it wide. Going to try to play this cover as perfectly as he can, but he doesn't have the help that he needs. Nice spread from Avexys. Another nice one, but those are two different players. Ultimately, Fire and Ice will win the 2v2 battle, and now they have positioning on the map as well as the lead.
Still Xplooidz with a sniper and 2 shots ready to fire away. Looking for Detox. The wiggle trying to avoid the shot. Xplooidz does not fire in the end. Still just abusing that weapon and keeping RushieZ at bay. Score-wise, Fire and Ice do lead 2 caps to 1. Now RushieZ again, they're going to have to run across the side, and Xplooidz are going to have a free shot on RushieZ. Is he going to fire a shot today? In the last 30 seconds? I'm just waiting for it. Wonder if RushieZ is aware.
Only if he thinks it's a high percentage shot. The shot grenade on the stairs is going to be able to force this, so make this a long rotation from RushieZ. They know that this was a tough round. This was going to be a tough map. They had some close rounds in it, but ultimately F&I at the end of the day, they are the best Vasgar squad that we have in this tournament, and they have shown it once again, folks, with a 5-1 victory in map number 3. Man, what a series this has been. Both these squads going back and forth, but as you see Toti there with Ty, he's letting it be known that, hey man, we got to shut this one down, okay? He almost dropped 20k in that map. Now we got to start getting ready for map number 4, but Toby, man, break this one down.
Well, what can you say? F&I are undefeated on Vasgar, and you said it best. The best team on Vasgar. You know, originally it could have been between VQ and them, right? In terms of Pro League, in terms of stats, but they, of course, lost yesterday, didn't they? And so that changed things a huge amount. Fire and Ice, of course, beating RushieZ there says a lot. And I wonder... RushieZ, I do hope that they're not demotivated after that one. As far as I'm concerned, Vasgar is more of a write-off than Checkout would be. And even then, RushieZ, they did the hard work on Checkout, right? With a huge win on that one. Vasgar was just so up against them in terms of numbers that I really feel as though they should just forget about it completely, right? Yeah, they hard fought for some rounds. RushieZ really put the team on his back at the very start of the map, doing insane on what seemed like his streak. But that's it, right? That's it as far as I'm concerned. Draw a line under that and move on to the next map, of course, which will be Reactor Control. And I feel as though, just to touch upon Vasgar for a second more as well as we see these replays, Fire and Ice, their team fights were just more on point. It was kind of the storyline at the start. It was more RushieZ clutching up on home street, while Fire and Ice were just dominating in the team fights. And we saw it in the first half, and we saw it in the second half as we saw the sniper go down on tank. Xplooidz got the sniper as a result of that, right? For what seemed like the entirety of the last 2 rounds. And so it says a lot for me. It really does. Fire and Ice dominating at the very start of Regency, for the most of Regency, in fact, and then doing similar on Vasgar in those team fights. It's going to be huge going into Reactor Control that RushieZ try and tighten up a little bit in that area, in those team fights. We've seen how scrappy Reactor can be. A little bit different, or quite different actually, than say Regency, where it's more setup central. And I think honestly that kind of works towards RushieZ's gameplay, does setups. Not for Fire and Ice though. Instead, they actually will probably really enjoy Reactor today against RushieZ, and with how they're playing on the team fights as well. It's kind of like the cherry on top. They're looking very good right now for a potential 3-1 win. Back to first, and they need to start this map off as a lot better actually than say they did on Regency.
You know, a quick few updates here. Oh, well, hold up. Updated off the team fight. 2v1 here. I think Fire and Ice will get control off the start. Yes, they will, but Hive taking down Noble 3-0. We got Team Queso and Oxygen in the losers bracket. They're all tied up 1-1. EU took down Brutal Guys 3-0. And Rebel versus A1s are going to be 1-1 in the losers bracket for them. So we got teams exiting. You know, Noble, Elevate, they played a great pro league, but they are going to be out of here. And only a few teams left in the tournament. Man, it's getting exciting. But here in this matchup, in this map number 4, RushieZ and Fire and Ice, they're looking to make their way towards the winners finals to compete for that one map lead in the grand finals and also lock in a lot of cash, okay? Because you go from top 6 to top 3 just by winning this matchup. And if you're Fire and Ice, you just got to win this map.
That's it. That's the goal. Initial hill just coming to a close, and actually a good result for RushieZ. You know, they challenged the hill guy, but also they've got Torpo. They had nades out of it as well. Or just a Torpo, excuse me.
25,
and look where they
25.
are. That's it, 25-25, and they had the advantage with the weapon. The only thing Fire and Ice had going for them right now is the setup in the spawn. Toti has to be careful. Look at that for a flash right on his ankle, landing there. RushieZ pushing in. Here comes Detox going wide. The Fire and Ice Lancers are coming in from the right. Meanwhile, Avexys has clocked the flank. Has to stop for a moment and check that. But his teammates are not done yet. They might even run past Fearzly here. Here comes a Vex. One, no, he's going to get surprised himself. Everyone collapsing on these players in the spawn. Both teams so aware as to how important the spawn is. And just, can RushieZ get out of here? Can RushieZ actually get off the short spawn? They've got it, guy. They're just coming into the right, but the reinforcements don't come fast enough. Toti and Fearzly do hold on.
The fact that Toti even picked up 1 kill when he got pressed by 4, that won them the team fight, because what also happened beforehand is that he saw 4 players on his screen. The fact that he saw 4 players on his screen, Fire and Ice could not make a wrong play there, okay? And, you know, all they had to do was focus their Lancer fire that direction, and they have absolutely capitalized on the majority of P2. So you're going to have RushieZ. They're setting up for P3, just trying to play that long game and making sure that they don't put themselves down in a deficit too early on again against Fire and Ice in another control map. They know that they got that comeback potential, but they want to win this map with ease, and we'll see if they can do that with this early setup at P3.
That's what it's about, right? Damage control for RushieZ. Fire and Ice really just was in front of RushieZ on Regency for what seemed like the majority of the map. But no, RushieZ are setting up first now. Look at this for an angle from Xplooidz. Catching it on the most narrow of lines of sight. Insane from him. And that's going to be a 4v3. It opens it wide open now for them to push on through. Fearzly bounces wide, finds one. Detox will drop as well. And Xplooidz, he can take his time with his 1v even. He can wait for his teammates to come from the hill and get a nice pinch on the player. Xplooidz does get the trade. The Torpo is lost, but does it even matter? Fire and Ice with the hill and the setup, and a nice, comfortable 70-point lead, soon to be 80.
Now, Fire and Ice right where they want to be, feeling super comfortable. Avexys, as he's trying to press up on Dsylexic. They're going to be a flank from Toti there as they pick up 2 kills. Going to let a few of these players think about what they've done, as Fire and Ice will keep collecting on time. But we're going to reach a certain point, Toby, where RushieZ cannot rotate early again, and it's just going to come down to it being scrappy. Okay, they're going to have to rush in some of these hills, force some fights, force some battles. They are getting close to not having that luxury anymore, and I think this next hill, depending on how it goes, RushieZ is going to have to cause absolute chaos. They're going to have to rely on RushieZ to create some openings, create some plays, because Fire and Ice is feeling too comfortable currently here on Reactor.
I think you're ahead of the game. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Reactor does go that way, similar to how we saw on Regency, but let's see. The next hill is a center line hill. It can be very difficult to hold on to, and it kind of favors FNI's playstyle. But nades have been picked up by RushieZ. Icy with the opener there, and also another kill for Avexys. Map control is clearly held. Torpo is in the hands of Avexys. This might be the hill that kickstarts their career here on Reactor.
All right, let's see if they can get the boost in which they need. If somebody can jump this RushieZ vehicle, get them locked in here in this map number 4 of Avexys with a torque bow in hand. That may be the energy in which RushieZ needs to start getting a few kills. RushieZ gets first blood. Avexys got eyes on one. He says, RushieZ, hold on to him for a second. I need to go back and take a look at the hill, make sure we're okay. RushieZ, they feel comfortable in the moment, but you see players press up. The nade kill gets a kill, but Avexys, he shot RushieZ on the ground, maybe expecting his opponent to pick up a meat shield, and he thought ahead of the game, but not knowing his teammate through the nade. Ultimately, RushieZ will still collect on his heal. They're going to get majority of it, and this is what they needed, Toby, to get back into this game. If they had allowed Fire and Ice to even take half of this one, I'm scared for RushieZ, but they've got themselves a breath of fresh air, and now they got to play for P4.
Yeah, so true. You can't allow Fire and Ice to pick away points at these hills. They need those full hills just as their opponents have as well in order to keep up with points. Here we go, though. Back Fire and Ice on the defense. And RushieZ pushing up through the front. 2 players on the left, Avexys as well there too, waiting for their player to come off respawn. You can see on the minimap number 2, Icy coming over, and also Fearzly joining the fight from the back. A very difficult hill to push, of course, given the height advantage. Usually the defense can reign true on this side, and not only that, Icy and Avexys getting angled out from the right as well. This is gorgeous from Fire and Ice. They don't even have to get into the shotgun fight, and they're so close of reaching the 200 mark. RushieZ might even get down in the process here and stagger the numbers. He hopefully stays alive. Yes, he does. All players back up, and now they're going to try again, Guy.
Yeah, and now RushieZ, they're still in it, but they got to get close enough. The revive comes through. That's a saving grace here for RushieZ.
That shot.
Oh, man. Fearzly, chill out, bro. RushieZ is trying to entertain us. But if you're a
he's
Fire and Ice
entertaining us now.
if you're an F&I fan, you are already entertained. You've been entertained since Vasgar kicked off. And, you know, me being as neutral as I am, I've been entertained throughout the whole series. Seriously, what an amazing 3-piece from him. With that, Fire and Ice rotating the P5. They feel super comfortable. They just gonna continue to slay, continue to hit shots, continue to apply the aggression of RushieZ, force them to have to be perfect, force them to have to be the grand champions they want to be the best team in the league. But are they ready to rise to the occasion? Are they ready to be that squad? F&I, they're looking more to form than RushieZ in the moment, and they're trying to do the same thing. But as I say that, RushieZ wins a team fight, but they got to build off of this now.
They do, and I love this aggression from them, Guy. That's the energy they're pushing out the short spawn. They're trying to get close. They're still trying to land, so they're showing the respect, but they do need the kills. Toti, oh my goodness me, just swoops in and finds Avexys, and all of a sudden, RushieZ are just running for the hills. They're sprinting with tail between their legs. 4v3 quickly turns to a 4v2. RushieZ trying to clutch up. It's not going to happen. This train of Fire and Ice is not stopping at the station. It's carrying on going, and Icy is the last bastion of hope. Can it come through? No, it cannot. 30 seconds, and the short spawn is there for RushieZ. But honestly, they needed more. Look at the points difference. It's very going to be Fire and Ice 50 points away from taking this one and the series.
Man, Fire and Ice so far throughout this series have been playing fantastic. They've been beating up on about 6 RushieZ members throughout this matchup. You know, the 4 we got here, the coach and the observer, making it hard for them to watch it as RushieZ is trying to get back in it. Fire and Ice, man, they say we're moving to the grand finals. We're done with it all. We want to get there. If RushieZ has anything left in them without having to go toward that losers bracket, they got to get it done now. VQ and PK, they play after this one, Toby. The winner of this plays the winner of that.
They do. Look at Xplooidz positioning with his torp bow right now. I would not be surprised if he's the difference maker on this hill. Look at the pressure for these players as they do look to push in very soon. Shot grenade thrown, 1 grenade thrown. Xplooidz looking for that stick. RushieZ in map control, he has the angle. Meanwhile, RushieZ, he does have the cap, or rather his teammate does have the cap. There we go. That's the torpo stick that opens things wide open. The angle is gone from the right, and Xplooidz is ready to go in. 4v3. Icy perhaps saving the day though.
But the revive is there. The info is there as well. But ultimately, Fire and Ice will win the hill. They win the team fight. But RushieZ not giving up his position just yet. Gonna stay here to the very last second, but he gets called out. Fire and Ice knew they had to look for him. He knew he was somewhere lurking, not too far away from the fight. But they know when they're playing against him, they got to clear those corners. Now F&I, less than 40 points needed.
Enemy spotted.
Yeah, I mean, RushieZ lose numbers. They've been staggered. RushieZ has only just come off respawn. The damage is just coming through so fast for F&I. Detox is dead before RushieZ can get there, and they're still swarming in. They're like the king of numbers advantage right now. They're always leveraging the points, right? The damage, the points lead. They can't keep RushieZ, or RushieZ can't keep off the hill. And look at this, 3 seconds. It's going to clock in up to past the 291 mark, or even 291. And here they are on the next hill, still staggered, just like they were on Regency. RushieZ have to pull something out the bag. They have to try and break the hill. That they do, and they are battling. They are there on the hill. Toti does get 1, and RushieZ are fighting their absolute hearts out.
It's gonna come down to one final fight, and there it is. Won by RushieZ. They stay alive. But does Dsylexic want to end this one now? He's not going to force a 1v1. Surely not, right? He's going to wait for his squad to get here. They get a torque bow as well. He's going to have to back off this hill just a second. It is contested. No player can take a foot off of this one. The flashes, the bows, the push, the aggression, the torque bows, the kills, the win. It's Fire and Ice moving forward to the winner bracket finals to either go up against Vanquish or the Pittsburgh Knights once again. But FNI has showed us one thing, that, hey, they're here to do it again. They're looking to make it back to the grand finals and do it for their fans. Congratulations to them to move on forward.
And right there, guy, they proved that Regency was not a fluke by any stretch of the imagination, right? Them winning in the end. It was just pure heart and from RushieZ, but definitely skill from Fire and Ice, aggression, speed. They were just one step ahead of RushieZ, both throughout the majority of Regency, but also Reactor. Hey, Escalation is clearly a weaker mode for RushieZ, right? The coach admitted it. Fire and Ice had that on lock. It seems like to me, guy, that they have control on lock against RushieZ as well.